Hello friends, I am your chemistry faculty from QLS Academy. In last class, we talked about sewage generation and its treatment. Today we are going to learn how can we minimize the amount of sewage and also about proper sanitation. So let's get started with our today's class. In last class, we saw that sewage contains organic components, inorganic components, many different types of microorganisms and also nutrients for those microorganisms. Organic components come from kitchen waste like food remains or used oils and fats, used tea leaves, sometimes even fruits and vegetable remains. All of these poses some difficulties and threats during the sewage treatment. The oils and fats discarded from kitchen through sink can harden along the pipes to block flow of wastewater. Oils and fats flowing in an open drain can enter the soil. Here it can clog the soil pores. This reduces the rate of water seeping and in severe cases it can completely block the percolation of water. Throwing tea leaves, solid food remains and napkins down the drain can also block them. They also block the flow of oxygen to the useful microorganisms present in the sewage. Those useful microorganisms work to decompose organic waste of the sewage. Chemical substances like paints, medicines, pest-killing chemicals, motor oils and many other solvents kill microorganisms that help in biological treatment of water. So friends, we should not ever discard such substances through pipes. They should always be dumped in a dustbin. This also lessens the burden on sewage treatment plants. But हमारे अकेले ऐसा करने से कुछ नहीं होगा. Everything begins with us, but to significantly reduce the load of sewage from sewage treatment plants, we have to put in mass efforts. Awareness has to be created among people about the ill effects of throwing such pollutants into the drain. Our next topic is sanitation. Sanitation refers to hygiene, proper disposal of sewage containing human and animal waste. All of you must be familiar with the waterborne diseases like cholera, typhoid and dysentery. ये सारी बीमारियां contaminated water consume करने से होती हैं. Poor sanitation leads to contaminated drinking water and hence it is the cause of large number of diseases. Sanitation is a major problem in developing countries such as India and China. Due to explosive growth in population, government is unable to provide proper sanitation through the underground drainage system. Even after so much efforts put by our government, there is still a large fraction of people who defecate in open. These untreated excreta is hazardous for our health. These eventually find way into the soil and nearby water source. Water and soil get polluted by open defecation. Contaminated water and soil prove to be the breeding grounds of many pathogenic microorganisms. The excreta through soil also find its way into the underground water and contaminate it as well. This further causes diseases like cholera, typhoid, polio, hepatitis and dysentery. So, proper sanitation सिर्फ surface soil and open water bodies को ही contaminate नहीं कर रहा है. It is also contaminating the underground store of water which gets purified by nature itself. Also, the human waste flowing through open drains produce foul smell and causes inconvenience and respiratory disorders. So such waste should be handled very carefully to avoid its exposure out into the environment before treatment. Now, let's look into the different sewage disposal systems. First is the on-site sewage disposal system. In this system, the human excreta is collected and stored in a tank and is later directed into a sewage treatment plant. The excreta collected can be sent to septic tanks or chemical toilets or to composting pits or to vermicomposting toilet. These on-site sewage disposal systems are cost-effective and is best suited for places with no sewage system. Now, let's study these on-site sewage disposal systems one by one. The most common is the septic tanks. Septic tanks are watertight chambers made up of brick, concrete or PVC. Here, the sewage flows in for primary treatment. The solid particles settle down at the bottom of the tank and gets degraded by microorganisms anaerobically. Actually, the term septic itself refers to the anaerobic bacterial environment generated inside the tank. The effluent from septic tanks are either passed through sewers to sewage treatment plant or are allowed to soak or evaporate. Septic tanks are best suited for places such as hospitals, isolated buildings and cluster of houses where there is no sewerage. The major disadvantage of septic tanks is they require a lot of space. And it is also costly to set up, as on-site disposal in septic tanks itself is composed of a mini sewage treatment plant. They need to be cleaned periodically, and sometimes the contaminated wastewater seeps through the tank into the ground, affecting trees and water resources. The second on-site sewage disposal system is chemical toilets. Chemical toilets are mostly used in airplanes and trains. It uses chemicals to disinfect human waste and remove its bad odor. एक्सक्रीटा में प्रेजेंट हार्मफुल माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स को किल करने के लिए यहाँ केमिकल्स का यूज़ किया जाता है. Killing of microorganisms also help in eliminating the foul odor of the waste. Thus, they control the emission of foul odor and also kill the microorganisms. Yes. Also, these are portable and hence could be set up anywhere. The major advantage of chemical toilets is that they do not require water. And the major disadvantage of chemical toilets is that they use toxic chemicals which are harmful when exposed to environment. Also, they are costly to set up and maintain. Hence, chemical toilets are best for temporary situations. The third type of on-site sewage disposal system is composting toilets. A composting toilet is a system that converts human waste into organic compost and usable soil. This happens when microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi and macroorganisms such as earthworm break down organic waste into essential minerals. Composting toilets are more environment friendly and require less water. They are well suited for rural areas with agricultural practice and underdeveloped sewerage system. The major disadvantage of composting toilets is that the rate of decomposition is very slow. They require regular proper maintenance, and even after maintenance, they end up emitting foul odor. This encourages breeding of many bugs and insects and increases health hazards. Also, it is required to timely remove the end products. The fourth on-site sewage disposal system is vermicomposting toilet. Vermicomposting toilets recruit earthworms to treat human excreta. The entire human waste is converted into vermicompost, which can be used as a manure. These toilets require less water and are hygienic and easy to maintain. Next is Sulabh toilets. Sulabh toilets are established by Sulabh International, the largest non-profit organization in India. It was established by Bindeshwar Pathak in 1970. The waste from these toilets flow through covered drains into a biogas plant for the generation of biogas and biofertilizers. Biogas plants offer safe and hygienic disposal of waste. यहाँ waste को एक useful substance पे convert किया जाता है. Sulabh toilets are designed to suit all type of household conditions. They are affordable and require less space. Since the whole system is covered, it eliminates the chance of breeding of nasty bugs and insects. Being covered also helps to maintain a foul smell-free environment. Also, they do not pollute the groundwater as nothing seeps into the ground or thrown out. Sulabh toilets are also easy to maintain, but they should be maintained properly and regularly. It needs proper attention of government or private agencies. This was all for sanitation. Now, what else can we do to have a clean and healthy surrounding? हम personal level पे क्या-क्या कर सकते हैं? While visiting to public places like railway stations, bus stops, market, fairs, hospitals, we often forget about proper waste disposal. हम अपने घरों में तो सफाई रखते हैं, but बाहर निकलते ही हम सफाई के बारे में भूल जाते हैं. But remember, whole world is our home. We should keep this clean just like we keep our homes clean. Littering around can cause sanitation havoc at public places. Public places such as railway station, bus depot, airport, hospitals generate a lot of waste which leads to diseases. We should not throw any type of waste here and there. Always use a dustbin to dispose of garbage and always use a toilet to relieve yourself. Like I said earlier, किसी भी चीज़ की शुरुआत हमसे होती है. We have to start applying the good habits on ourselves. Effort of one can also make a difference, but the efforts of many can bring in revolution of difference. So, to keep the environment clean and to prevent the breaking up of diseases, a lot of measures have to be taken. But let's first start with applying all we have learned from studying into our daily life and then by spreading the awareness among people. So friends, this was all for today's class. Today, we learned how can we reduce the amount of waste materials in the sewage and help in its effective cleaning. Also, we learned how our awareness can keep our surroundings clean and disease-free. Hope you learned something really valuable and will apply the same in your life. If you have any doubt or need any information, you can always visit the following given link.